welcome back to Just My Better, the best fragrance channel in the world. Today we're going to be talking about 7 date night fragrances for you to try out next time you're on a date. Whenever people make date night fragrance videos, they always assume we're going to go on a nice romantic dinner. That's not always the case. There's different type of dates. So today I will give you 7 different date ideas and attach a specific fragrance for that date idea. So without further ado, let's start. The classic going to the movie theater, watching a movie, whether it's romantic, a comedy, a horror, so you can, have your girl latching onto you. In my case, I don't like horror movies, so I'm the one covering my eyes. But the point is, you're going to be in close proximity, close to each other. She might be hugging you, so you need something like Dolce&Gabbana The One EDT. Let's start off easy, smooth with the classic date night fragrance for the classic date night activity. I always say this, people complain about the projection, the performance, like they wanted to project crazy. That is not the point. Not every cologne has to be a nuclear bomb. This is for you to bring your woman close to you, make her hug you, make her come close to your neck and smell the sexy tobacco warm spices in this one. This one's not really like ambery vanilla like I've described it previously. I've noticed that it is more of some like masculine tobacco, but it still has some sweetness. So I do prefer this one over the Eau de Parfum because I find it to be more masculine. I don't know, I just prefer the traditional smell, feeling like a man, smelling like a man. So this one, even though it still has the playful sweetness, still keeps the masculine edge that gives you that confidence and that sexiness when your girl is hugging you and she gets a whiff of Dolce&Gabbana The One EDT. Now let's talk about a date night activity outside in the cold. This can be, for example, going to the Christmas tree light up, going to Christmas markets, or going ice skating. For this date night activity, I'm gonna recommend something like Parfums Layton or the Cologne Harmaine d'Etoile Noir. Whatever budget you are on, this scent works perfectly fine for the cold season, and especially for date nights. Ooh, this one, bro, it's magnificent. This is my first scent that I ever took with my girl on our first date. We met on Hinge, which I know is not conventional, but it worked out, and we planned out a date. So we went ice skating, we went to have sushi, which I'm not a big fan of sushi, so I had a steak, and then we went to the movie theater in the end. But I wore my sample of Parfums Layton, and it was perfect. It was amazing for the occasion. Definitely secured me the second date. Even though she says she doesn't remember the smell, I'm sure, deep down in there she does. So even though I do prefer my masculine smells, I don't mind smelling creamy, sweet, and edible too. This smells like an apple pie that just came out of the oven. It has spices, but also sweetness. It is amazing. One of the best for date nights, especially outside in the winter. But now let's talk about date nights outside in the summer. So like a beach date night, maybe a little bit picnic on the 90-degree weather, I'm gonna recommend Khadlaj Island. Khadlaj Island, I still don't know how to pronounce it, but bro, like, I'm not gonna lie, even though I just bought this one and it is one of my newest colognes, I'm not gonna hype it up just for that. I took it to the gym today because I had to test it out. I need to test out the performance, the projection. Honestly, just wanted to wear something like Versace Roma, but I had to wear it and it surprised me so much. I haven't smelled this good in the gym since my Abercrombie & Fitch Fierce days. This one had me smelling sweet but fresh at the same time, and I loved it. It made me feel so confident. I was smelling so good, and I had an amazing workout. The coconut in this is smooth, perfect. It is well blended, mixed with the more woody, musky notes, which makes it not intoxicating sweet. It did not give me a headache like I expected. So even though I loved it in the gym, I can see it transferring well to a hot summer day because obviously you're sweating, you're heating up. I can see this one being good for beach days or those picnic days or like those late night like 4th of July when you're watching the fireworks, those type of date nights. So Khadlaj Island, the cologne of Jean Paul Gaultier Le Beau Le Parfum, surprised me. I think it moves from like a 6.5 to like a 7.5 out of 10. Now let's just talk about the classic dinner date night. So I'm imagining this one being more of a dressed up occasion, maybe celebrating a birthday, an anniversary, or maybe you just want to feel romantic and dress up a little bit. I'm gonna recommend for a dinner date night, Stronger With You Intensely. This one works perfectly for those special occasion dinners. I took this one to our 1-year anniversary. It was during February. We went to a nice Chicago restaurant. I had a nice steak and fries with like a little cappuccino, something like that. I do like to drink my coffee. She had, I think, a chicken alfredo or something like that. So it was a pretty nice, decent restaurant, not too expensive, but we were dressed up. This is the classic date night fragrance that people recommend when you want to smell sweet ambery, warm, like a gourmand, like an edible dessert. This low-key smells better than the food you're gonna go eat. So if you get like a little dessert after the dinner, expect this one to smell better, like you're gonna be the dessert for her after the dinner. Now let's talk about one of the most fun activities for date nights. One of my favorite activities, this is going to an arcade. So I'm gonna recommend something nice and chill like YSOY with the Parfum Intense. Something clean, versatile, fresh, aquatic. I say this is the jack of all trades, so we're gonna pull it out for just a normal fun day together, laughing together, doing physical activities together, like playing basketball, doing challenges. Like those arcade games are so fun. And my personal favorites, obviously the cologne machines. I do love my cologne machines. I own a few of them. That's how I can afford some of these colognes. But I've said it multiple times, girls usually prefer the fresher date night scents over the sweeter ones. They all have their specific place for every occasion, but girls usually prefer the fresh ones. Don't forget about these ones. Show these ones some love, and she's gonna show you some love too. YSOY is my girl's favorite cologne. I think it still is. I haven't shown her my new ones, but this one, she loved it. Rated at like a 9.5 out of 10. Not every date night has to be you guys going out. Sometimes you just want to stay in and chill. So for this one, I'm gonna call it the Netflix and chill cologne. For this occasion, I'm obviously gonna recommend Versace Eros. This is the best cologne to turn up the mood. You know, when you guys are inside, you want to spray something on your room, or you're gonna go visit her to her house. This one is the one. It is one of the most seductive, sexy, handsome fragrances out there. Like there's something about it that is just attractive. This was one of my first colognes, and I was shocked at how good I could smell, and it discovered my like a whole new world into fragrances. Like I said, I want to go too vulgar, but pro tip for you guys, like if you are planning to get a little bit, you know, spicy and intimate with your girl, don't spray cologne on the parts that she can kiss, because you don't want her to kiss like alcohol. Like that's not good. So a good place to spray is on your wrist, because obviously her mouth is not going to be by there, and if she likes a little bit of this, then she's gonna get a little whiff. I don't want to, you know, like I said, not a dating channel. I don't want to get too vulgar and detailed, but just tips and tricks for you guys who are interested. But Versace Eros, one of the best for just staying home, chilling, and Netflix and chilling. And the final date activity is like a nice carnival slash festival. I know a lot of people like to go to music festivals. Me personally, that is not my type of thing. I don't like to listen to music like that. So I am more of a carnival type of guy. You know, those carnival rides, those roller coasters, Six Flags. I'm more of that type of person. So for those activities, I was having trouble going for like a sweeter one or a fresher one, because we don't know when those activities are going to take place, like summer, winter, day, night. So I went with something versatile you can take anywhere, anytime. This is Valentino Born in Roma Coral Fantasy. The red apple tobacco smells amazing in this one. It is a balance between sweet, fruity, but also dark and masculine. Kind of an alternative to Dolce&Gabbana The One if it was mixed with like Versace Eros. Keeps the dark tobacco aspect, but mixes it with the freshness from like the apple. Even though this one is green apple, this one is red apple, it still works pretty good together. I think when I went with my girl to Six Flags, this one was the one that I took, and it was a little bit hot that day, but it did not overwhelm me or choke out the people around me in the line, because obviously you're going to be around a lot of people. If you're like in a music festival, you're going to be bumping next to each other, or if you're in a carnival, you're going to be on those long ass lines. So something nice, chill, versatile like Coral Fantasy, it's going to work perfectly fine. But let me know what you think about my list right here in the date night categories. Let me know your favorite date night activity, and which one of these do you think works best for girls. But thank you for watching. Like I said, make sure you work hard on improving your appearance, your personality, whatever it is you need to do to get a girl. Putting this on yourself, your temple, but if your temple is destroyed, then there's no point. So hit the gym, be as healthy as possible, and just smell better.